Hey YouTube, Sam here. Well, we're unfortunately on the third video with a couple more to go. Maybe even 3 more to go. So this is just way more in depth. I've never done this before, so I'm kind of learning right along with you guys. And I want to really kind of cover everything so that if, somebody like me that's never done it before comes and needs to do this, they'll have a pretty good idea of how to do it. So as you can see, I've got it put back together with grease in it right now. This one is going to be just basically removing these gears and pulling them out of the case, and a few other things. So the rest of the rear end part here. And quite honestly, I don't know if this just kind of pops up out of here. I'm pretty sure, but I don't know if this here will this chain that holds them together, if that's gonna have to stay there. You know what? This is coming out of the shifter fork, or the steering fork, or not, shifter fork. That's probably what I'd call that. And those are all coming out together. Oh, great. And don't do that, because I have no idea how it all goes back together. So hopefully I have some good video here. I've got the shifter in here. I'm probably just getting my head in your way here. Okay, this just seems to be pulling up. Probably means I need to somehow knock this off of here. Okay, now I see this ball down here, and I'm going to go ahead and get that out of there for now. Well, maybe not. There we go. I'm going to get that out, put it in the pan so I don't lose it. And I'm pretty sure there's a spring in there as well, but that's not coming out right now. And I do know I can put the ball and the spring back in after the fact. So I probably will be doing that. So this anyway, so pull that off. It's like this piece right here needs to pop off. There we go. Okay. There's like a washer. It's kind of the same shape. And it actually does pop off. It was just rusted a bit on there. So that would have been nice to actually have that just come out. And then all this would have came out together without having to pry it out from underneath here. There's your fork. There's your mess. This is disgusting. So I'm going to have to go through and clean all this out. I need to figure out where those gears exactly go and where the shims go now that they all fell off. And when I get that all figured out, in the interest of just getting this all cleaned up better and stuff, there's a snap ring there. So I'm gonna grab these. I was able to go to Napa and get a set of these pieces for this. They have a similar one there that works, but it still didn't work to get those bigger snap rings off. Those things are just huge on the rear end of this thing or something. So we'll see how well it hopefully works on these ones. This is more of a normal size one. That's what they're made for, so even cheaper ones will work for that probably. So we got that off of there. I do believe that should make it so either this pulls off, yep, so there's your gear, the ring. There appears to be a washer on here. I'm just going to pull this. This seems to pull through anyways. It's trying to. There we go. There's your shaft right there. And there's a washer down in here you don't want to lose. So, and there is actually a bearing right here, which looks to actually be moving pretty smoothly in there. So there is like a bearing here. It looks like you could try and press that out if you wanted to, but I don't want to. I'm gonna clean it up real good, and I'm gonna grease the ever-loving daylights out of this thing. There's a bearing on this side as well. Let's see here, and it appears there's a washer on this side as well too, and then there is a bearing here as well. So there's a couple of looks like needle bearings in there. So we'll get that nice and cleaned up, put a bunch of grease
a little bit of
back
the
into
process
it.
of how I'm cleaning these out. I went through a couple cans of brake clean and realized I was going to go through a heck of a lot more than that I wanted to. And right now my parts cleaner is not really functional, so what I did, I just filled up this pan with a bunch of and this is the product that I'm using here, Super Clean. I believe I got it at Walmart. I don't remember, to be honest. I've had this for a long time because you can dilute this quite a bit in spray bottles with water, and I just keep just a generic spray bottle that I write Super Clean on it, and mix it with quite a bit of water. Filled it up with that and some water, and I cleaned the cases off so far, and that's what it looks like now. I mean, it wasn't perfect water because that pan wasn't super clean. But anyway, I'm going to go through and start cleaning these up. Just thought I'd give you kind of a little what I'm trying to do to keep the price down a little bit. I've still gone through, I believe, 5 cans of these. Less than $2 at Walmart though, so it's a decent deal. And you end up going through a lot of it anyway. I got the cases all cleaned up now. Also, I got all the gears and stuff cleaned up, and you'll notice the brush and the fact that there's some fluid in there. I threw some Mystery Marvel oil all over these parts and brushed it on with the brush, just to kind of keep them from getting any corrosion or anything on them. I'm not sure how corrosion resistant any of these parts are, so I figured I'd throw that on there, and that Mystery Marvel oil will pretty much absorb into anything, gas and oil, it seems like, from what they say you can use it for. So I figured this might help not only give them a little bit of break-in lube, so to speak, but also keep the rust down. Now, I've gone through and I figured out that, in fact, I got them in a bag right here, the different things I am going to have to replace. I'm going to try and replace all the bushings if I can find them, and the 2 big outside bearings that go on the wheels there, on the shafts. So, and I need to clean those shafts up still. I'm not done with that. Still couldn't get the stupid wheels off the shafts there either. But anyhow, gonna go through and clean those up. But I'm gonna go through now, and I'm kind of wondering if I need to replace some of these bushings as well. I noticed the needle bearings in here seem pretty good. And I don't remember what the other ones were. I found some other ones somewhere. I don't remember what it was on, but anyway, they seem good. So I'm not worried about those. But I do kind of think that these bushings inside this, I think that's the only ones. I'll have to go through again, but I think the bushings inside this seem like they were kind of wallered out. So I may try and knock those out if I can do it fairly easily, and replace those as well. I got the gear here, and the bushing on this side I can't get the mic on very well. On the other side it actually was in a thou, so but this one I'm having trouble figuring out if it's decent or not. So I found the appropriate size socket, and I'm just gonna knock it out of here, hopefully without too much rigmarole. Oh yeah, that's coming out pretty easy. I'll put my hand down there. Okay. That came out real easy, so going back in might not be quite as easy. Yeah, I'll have to knock it in from this side. I can see that these holes here even don't look all that great, so you can see why they had to sleeve these things. They just didn't do a real good job on cutting those out. But there's that bushing there. I'm going to take my cheap yet seemingly accurate Harbor Freight calipers and mic it here, so we'll find out if I need to replace that or not. Figured, looked at, and it looks pretty good. I got an old brake tool here that I'm going to kind of tap on just to kind of try and get some, try and get this in here a little ways, and then I'll use the socket again. But right now I'm having trouble just trying to get it kind of seated in there a little bit.
knocking any one specific side in very far. I'm just trying to get it seated in there. And I actually got a smaller socket here and an extension I can put through here. Hopefully knock it the rest of the way down without damaging anything. I have a press I could probably do this with, but most people don't have that, so, and I don't know, it'd be much easier really. Maybe not. I don't want to go too far here. Look and make sure it's not going all the way through. Yeah, it went a little bit further than I wanted it to. There is a line down there, and I thought it would stop at like a little, what I thought was a lip. I think it's just more of a line of where the grease was, maybe. Hopefully I can find that line again here. There we go. Yeah, there's a definite line there anyway. And this was already lubed up with some stuff, so I wasn't too worried about lubing it up. But if yours is pretty dry, you may want to throw some lube in there. I'm pretty happy with that. I can't really show you the line, but there's definitely kind of almost, it's like almost a groove in there is what it is, it seems like. I can't really tell, but there's a definite spot, so you want to keep track, unlike I did, of exactly where that is. Probably, I don't know as it makes a huge difference, but hopefully it doesn't mess with anything. But those look good for me. I'm okay within a thou or two of about anything I own, so I think we're going to move forward. I got to get some, see if I can go to either a bearing place, a local bearing place, or Granger or something like that. See if I can find the parts that I need. I'm going to find the sack I put them in. Oh, that's another thing. There was kind of a bushing that went around this too, and I'm going to see if I can find that as well, because it had kind of a what appears to be like it had something going across here that broke off, but I can't really tell. So I'm going to see if I can get a new one of those. It's got kind of a gouge down there too, so I'll see what I can find and where I can find it, and we'll go from there. There you go. There's the video. Hopefully you're enjoying these. I know if somebody already knows about all this stuff, they're probably not that entertained, but for the guy who really needs to learn how to do this, or has one half torn apart, can't figure out how to get it together, these videos will help a lot. Alright, this is Sam, Jack of all, Master of none. You all have a good one.